Hello, this is Unlimited Splash, where we get better at Magic together through a new draft every day. And folks, I have a confession to make. After my Pick-2 draft did not go well yesterday, it was my first ever Pick-2 draft, and it went 2 wins, 2 losses. I thought, I can do this. I can just pick 2 and I can crush it. I'm good at draft. I can figure out this new format in no time. And then I went 0-3, 0-3, 0-3. I destroyed my limited rating. A bit of a peek behind the scenes. I'm actually at a big paper tournament right now, playing limited as this goes out. And as I record this, it's actually the end of January. Okay, so this is the last gasp of my January Premier Draft rating. We're gonna hit the ground running in February. As soon as I get back from my tourney, I'm gonna grind my way back to Mythic, and we're gonna have a nice, respectable Mythic rating with a number, not a percentage. Okay, but for right now, I'm gonna see. I don't care how low my rating goes. I am going to understand how to pick 2 draft, and I'm going to figure out this freaking format. All right, so let's see what cards we get. I took some time after my 03 drafts. No, 02, sorry. It's 02 in in Pick-2 draft. That shows you how little I understand the format. After that, I did spend some time trying to figure out the strategy in Pick-2, the different ways that people approach this format. I looked at a bunch of trophy decks, so hopefully we're going to be okay. So first off, I'm very happy to just snap up a command. The commands are typically good. If you do end up in the Merfolk deck, you are not going to have any complaints about this. One thing that I think I was doing wrong with my 02 drafts is I was going really fast. I think the speed of Pick-2 draft got me in a psychological headspace of thinking that my deck has to be really fast. So I was taking all these 2 drops and 3 drops because I was just like, fast, fast, fast. What's fast? Take the fast card. But obviously, you still want a deck that is just like a good limited deck because the game format is exactly the same. It's not like the difference between Premier Draft and Traditional, where you actually might prioritize different cards. In Pick-2 Draft, a good draft deck should look as similar as possible to a Premier Draft deck, if only maybe a little bit less powerful. As my next card, I'm just going to take a Shine Striker. It's very possible that we end up with some kind of blue splashy Vividity deck if we're playing the Sig's command. Here I am going to perhaps take, let's see. So one option is to just take Thoughtweft Imbuer. It's so incredibly crucial to find the open lane in Pick-2 draft. I cannot emphasize that enough. It is so crucial to find the open lane. So I could just take Thoughtweft Imbuer, and then maybe I just take the Changeling Wayfinder, because Thoughtweft Imbuer is a different deck from Shine Striker or Sig's Command. It's not going to go in a deck with those 2 cards. Changeling Wayfinder could go in the Shine Striker deck for sure, and maybe in a Sig's Command deck. And it could also go in a Thoughtweft Imbuer deck. So this is kind of hedging my bets. If I wanted to just say, hey, let's speculate on Kithkin, I would take Thoughtweft Imbuer and I would take Guiltleaf's Embrace. If I wanted to get married to my first pick, which you shouldn't do, I would take the Changeling Wayfinder and, I don't know, Feed the Flames maybe. But let's just take Changeling Wayfinder and Thoughtweft Imbuer, and we are optimizing for flexibility. And here we go, a nice little reward. So the person next to me and the person next to them seem to be leaving the Kithkin lane wide open. The moment that we identify that, I want to jump in and just fill my deck with as many Kithkin as I possibly can, because Thoughtweft Imbuer is a very, 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 very powerful card. And those 2 people are 2/3 of the other people at this draft table. So the only person I need to look out for is the person to my left. So I'm going to hard cut every single Kithkin and conspicuously leave open another lane. Maybe this is a little bit tough because there isn't another green or white card. I guess maybe I'll take the Summit Sentinel just in case I need to end up in blue-white somehow. I'm really hoping that I don't. Here I can take a Liminal Hold and Sundappled Celebrant. I could take Shimmerwild's Growth if I still want to stay open for Vivid, but we have not really seen any Vivid cards except that bad green enchantment in the last pack, and we have seen 2 Thoughtweft Imbuers, a Miss Metal Council, and a Reluctant Downguard. So I'm all over anything that could go in a Kithkin deck at this point. I'll take this Unforgiving Aim, and we're just Kithkinning it up. Here, let's see. In terms of Kithkin, I would take a Pyrrhic Strike, I guess, for the Kithkin deck. It's a fine removal spell. And then, I don't know, maybe the Merfolk Flyer? Is it possible that I could play a Kithkin deck where I play Changeling Wayfinder, and then I'm actually splashing Sig's Command, and I have Changelings? Let's see. There's really nothing else to play, is there? So yeah, I guess I could take Pyrrhic Strike and Shore Lurker. Yeah, I guess I could take Pyrrhic Strike and Shore Lurker, right? And then Sig's Command could be used to copy this guy. So, well, let's see. There's an Encumbered Reejerey, which really is a Merfolk card. I mean, Pitiless Fist is so good, though. So the question is, I mean, I really want to just take the 2 green removal spells. I do wonder if the person to my right might be in Elves. I didn't see a lot of green. I saw barely any green, just the 1 Kithkin card. So I could take these 2. I wonder what effect it'll have on the draft table. The other thing I could do is take the Encumbered Reejerey. I'm not going to jump into Kithkin because I have double Thoughtweft Imbuer already. But Encumbered Reejerey is just a good 2-drop if you can just start attacking with it. And my curve is pretty bad, but I wouldn't rather have it than either. I mean, these are 2 premium green removal spells, right? So I'm just going to take those. Here we have a Kithkin and another Kithkin, so I'll just take the 2 Kithkins. Omni Changeling is amazing, but just because the person to my right is not in Merfolk, that doesn't really tell me very much. I think I'm still right to just be fixing on this Kithkin deck. Look, I mean, when you have double Thoughtweft Imbuer, are you supposed to not go Kithkin? It doesn't make sense, right? That doesn't make sense. So I'm going to go for the Surly Farrier and the Reluctant Downguard. I'm not going to take Chomping Changeling. I'll just take some Kithkin. Taking Kithkin is good in the Kithkin deck. And here we go. Personify. This blanks a removal spell, and it also makes a Kithkin, so I'd probably rather it than Riverguard's Reflexes. The way to read this card, by the way, this kind of card looks worse than it is. The way to read this card is it's a 1/1 with Flash that flickers a creature you control for 2. That's why it's good. When you picture it as a creature, you immediately understand why it's good. If you just think of it as an instant, it can be a lot more obscure, but this counts as a creature in your deck. It immediately makes a creature. Okay, and it's a changeling, a 1/1 Flash changeling. Okay, so I'll take 10 the Springs, and I guess Mischievous Sneakling? Yeah, I guess it's these 2. I'm just cutting anything adjacent to what I'm doing. Heck yes, Wheeling Encumbered Reejerey. So both Kithkin and Merfolk are open. This will happen a lot in Pick-2 draft, is you will have multiple lanes unclaimed because there just aren't enough people at the draft table. If everyone in the draft table sorted into 1 archetype, there would still be 1 tribal archetype and 5 other archetypes left over. Here I probably do just take an Encumbered Reejerey. I think it's a really good aggro card, and then probably a Virulent Emissary. The problem with these picks are, look, I just wheeled an Encumbered Reejerey, and I really want Kithkins to turn on my Thoughtweft Imbuers. So maybe it's actually Virulent Emissary and Wary Farmer. Encumbered Reejerey is a really good 2-drop, but you do kind of need ways to tap it. I really want to up my Kithkin count because nothing would make me sadder than having basically no Kithkin except my 4 Kithkin payoffs. So we need the Kithkin enablers. So I think I'll go for these 2, and I think I would rather have the Virulent Emissary than Encumbered Reejerey. Also, look, we just wheeled an Encumbered Reejerey. Maybe someone just got into Merfolk. That's always possible. Here, I think I'll take the good removal spell and the 2 Kithkins. I mean, Klatchin Festival plus Thoughtweft Imbuer? Heck yes, I'm absolutely in for that. I will not be playing Unforgiving Games if I can help it. We're not going to be splashing. And these also help me play my Sun-Dappled Celebrant, so that's really good. I would be very happy to wheel Feisty Spikeling or Protective Response, and I might even play Guildleaf's Embrace. But yes, we'll take this and this, and we'll be very happy. You're a Tree Folk, you're not even a Kithkin, pathetic. Oh, but there's an Assert Perfection in this pack. That's awesome. Yeah, so I definitely think that a weakness that I had in my last few Pick-2 drafts is I was going way too low on my curve, which is kind of funny. I was drafting like 11 2-drops because I just had it in my mind that it's a fast format. But I think the double Sun-Dappled Celebrant is really nice. And holy smokes, my friends, look at this. Gallant Foul Knight plus Mist Meadow Council. It's possible I'm supposed to take Pyrrhic Strike over Gallant Foul Knight, but as I say that, I think I just definitely am not. We have Liminal Hold, Pyrrhic Strike, Pitiless Fist, Double Assert Perfection, and Spiral into Solitude. We have our whole removal suite worked out. What we don't have is enough Kithkin. So this guy really needs to cost 4. Liminal Hold and Encumbered Reejerey, both of them will probably make my deck. I am a little low on 2-drops at this point. I do not want to play Shore Lurker, for example. I think the Changeling Wayfinder is not where it's at, and then maybe we do just cut one of these Liminal Holds, but we actually just got a Protective Response, which is nice with the Encumbered Reejerey, right? So I'm probably on 26 lands, taking these 2, but actually probably not main decking either one of them. Maybe it's Protective Response over Pyrrhic Strike. I'm not sure which one's better. Yeah, I'll play Protective Response over the Pyrrhic Strike simply because that kind of a card has not been great destroy target attacking or blocking creature. It's a little bit too conditional, but because I have double encumbered Reejerey, I really would like more convoke spells. So my encumbered Reejereys go with the Mist Meadow Council, or sorry, they go with the Sun-Dappled Celebrants, and they will also now have a third way of just tapping them without attacking. All right, I like this deck. I'm going to go on 16 lands because all this stuff costs 4. The Mist Meadow Councils had better cost 4 or they're terrible. And Sun-Dappled Celebrant, you're never paying 6 for it. So this is more like a 4-ish drop. So my curve kind of looks like this, 16 lands, and yeah, let's go. Hopefully this is a better deck than, than my last several. We have some rating to redeem. If you want to get better not just at Pick-2 Draft, but also at Premier Draft, Traditional Draft, Sealed, Winning Boxes, and Limited in general, go ahead and click subscribe using the link in the description below. I do play a new draft every single day. I try to be really clear in talking through my decisions, maintain a growth mindset and a positive attitude, always asking what can I do better. And so I hope it helps my community, the people who watch the channel, to also be better at Limited tomorrow than we are today. That's the goal. And to have fun. All right, can I redeem myself? Virulent Emissary into Encumbered Reejerey, trying to jump up to a Sun-Dappled Celebrant. By the way, the Assert Perfections are really good with Virulent Emissary. That's an awesome little interaction. Very happy to get a land there. I'm going to play this before combat just on general principles. I don't think they actually can kill this guy here, but we have an Enters effect. So now if we can get one more creature down, then we can start spitting out our Sun-Dappled Celebrant in with the team. I think my deck is really good. Look at this. I mean, this is a curve out. This is a curve out and a half. And then we have 2 removal spells to back it up with. I think my deck is finally good. Did I finally figure out Pick-2 Draft? Okay, so we can play our Sun-Dappled Celebrant. I was a little worried for a moment there. So let us go for playing this, make this guy bigger, and then if they play a blocker, we have double removal for it. They may just have put target creature on top. Nope, they don't. Okay. I wonder if it's a flash card. Oh, Swat Away. It could be Swat Away. Feed the Flames. Ah, they can't hit Sun-Dappled Celebrant. It's too big. All right, my chunky guy gets through. And end. Yeah, I feel like it's a very active deck. We have answers, 3 removal spells in our hand. I might be a little bit removal heavy for an aggro deck, to be honest. I think I'm right to not be playing Liminal Hold, for example. Okay, they play Changeling Wayfinder. Not really someone I want to spend a removal spell on, but I probably will just to get damage through. Also, just because I have so much removal. So let's put this one on that guy because it doesn't have any abilities. And then I'm just going to push through some more damage. And I don't need to exile it. They could have Flocky guy, 5/5 flyer that bounces all my stuff. That would be the most annoying thing that they could have. Okay. Oh, Thought Weft Imbuer. But I only have 1 Kithkin. Okay. So I'm just going to assert Perfection. And let's see if we can push lethal. Yeah. All right. A quick victory. Okay. Well, that's already better than all of my last 3 Pick-2 drafts. Playing Pick-2 Draft is so funny. I feel like a complete beginner to draft again. It was just like I had to completely reset and rewire my brain. By the way, the Pick-2 Draft rewards are amazing. If I get 1 more win before 2 losses, I basically make my gems back. So that's a good reason to be playing Pick-2. But yeah, I know there's a chess master. Shout out to Chess Dojo. International master David Bruce, who's an awesome streamer. You should check him out on YouTube. Talks about how he deliberately did not learn Go to a good level. Like, he knows the rules of Go. He's a chess master, but he is like a competent Go player or like a beginner, like really a noob at Go, I guess. And he talks about how he deliberately stayed pretty bad at it because his main way of making a living, and this is true for most chess players, is I'm just gonna offer the trade. I don't really care. I want to keep a Kithkin so that this guy gets bigger, or this guy has an Enters trigger, but I mean, technically I could have saved this for Personify, but I kind of just want to go Mist Meadow Council and curve out. He talks about how, most chess players, they make their living by teaching. And so his idea is by staying bad at Go, it gives him an understanding of what it's like to be learning chess. So it's hard when you're really, really good at chess to put yourself in the mind frame of a student who is not good at chess, right? And he Oh, don't kill this. Okay, phew. Part of the reason that I save Personify is because I want to flicker the Mist Meadow Council for a cashback of drawing a card. And now we get double cashback. So I'll probably just main phase this, because for the simple reason that I might play whatever I draw. Yeah. Well, actually, I can't play that, but that's okay. So anyways, Pick-2 draft makes me feel like that. It's like, I don't remember what it's like to have no idea what I'm doing when I'm drafting. But Pick-2 draft really lets me understand what that's like all over again. It will be a little bit too obvious probably if I attack here what's going on. So I don't think I'm supposed to play my protective response yet. I mean, I could attack with the 1/1, see if they block, but that's just a little bit too like hoping that your opponent does the wrong thing. So let's see if we get protective response down. You do get your Gravelgill Scoundrel back, it's true. And they did lock down my Mist Meadow Council, but there was no way to avoid that because I can only target an attacking creature, so I had to allow them to attack. I think I do just try Pitiless Fists. I kind of like this idea. Fight this guy, or okay, so I kind of like the idea of just shutting their thing down because this lets me attack with everything. They could have a bounce spell. That would be really unfortunate. All right, then I fight that guy. Do you have like +2/+2? That would be really annoying. Unexpected assistance, sure. Draw 3, discard. Yeah, I like the idea of just pushing damage here, basically. Then I'll play this thing. There's no like discard 1 that I need to be worried about. And then in with the team for 5, putting you to 12. And then Gallant Foul Knight should be good for pushing damage next turn. Their deck looks pretty sweet. It's just a good Merfolk deck. That is just a good Merfolk deck. Champion of the Shoal, Unexpected Assistance. Oh, and then a million Blossom Binds, yeah. Personify is just so good against Blossom Bind. Okay, I really want to stop drawing lands, please. Kind of sick of drawing all these lands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I have more than half of the lands in my deck already in play. Well, we'll see if it matters. All right. All right. We are redeeming ourselves. 2-0. 2-0. On to the next one. Okay, how do I feel? This is just a good hand, right? Like, I can play Wary Farmer and start surveilling stuff into the bin. I think it's just a good hand. I have a 2-drop, and if I draw any land, I get to play a thing that's going to let me surveil. Okay, so I think it's good. I do wish this were Compassionate Healer from Avatar, where I actually get to scry. Foraging Wickermaw is fine. I'll just attack into that. All right, but I do need to draw land. I do need to draw land here. Especially since they're surveilling and fixing their mana. Okay, well, that's a disaster. Yeah, that's a disaster. Yeah, I mean, I guess my hand was a little tenuous, but... Okay, there we go. Well, I got a land. I mean, it's not GG. I'm definitely going to play the Wary Farmer. No, actually, do I want to? Because I don't even get to surveil if I do that. So really, I just... Let's see. Yeah, okay, no, I'll do that. Because then next turn, if I don't draw land, I can play Reluctant Downguard and surveil off of the Wary Farmer to try to put a land on top. Ideally, I just get... Oh, you're going to be huge, aren't you? Wait, it doesn't double trigger? Oh, because it's a cast trigger. It would double trigger next time. Okay, land is really nice. And actually, forget whatever I said. Now that they've done that, I really want a Death Toucher. So I'm going to open with Virulent Emissary. And then I'm going to play Reluctant Downguard. The reason that I did it that way... Oh, it was a mistake. It was a mistake. Sorry, I was thinking I did it that way for the life trigger, but... Of course, that deprives me of the getting bigger trigger, which is more important. I actually think Pitiless Fist, I don't want another 4-drop. I want another land, but I actually think Pitiless Fist rises to the level where it's just a good enough 4-drop. For example, I can Pitiless Fist onto Virulent Emissary fighting their Kulrath Mystic on my turn if they choose not to attack into it. Okay, you get double trigger. Their deck is awesome. I would feel better if I hadn't missed a land drop. Yeah, I should have just made this a 3-3. I don't need the life that badly. It's better to have a 3-3 over a 2-2 compared to being at 22 over 21, if you know what I mean. Okay, here I might just not play the Pitiless Fists. I really want them to be tapped down. Although, what could they have? +3/+2 into Treasure would be an example of a way that I get blown out. Okay, I'm just going to miss Meadow Council. They seem a little bit cowed. They don't have counter. Oh, no, they do have counter mana. Okay. Ah, that's important. That is important. Okay, draw a card. Encumbered Reejerey is not bad, actually. Anything that would let me double spell if I found a land or two is probably good. I mean, I'd rather have a land, but... Now I'll Surveil. Anything that's not a land is almost certainly going into the bin. Okay, they're finding mana. Is this going to be Sunderflock? That would be the game, wouldn't it? Why did they do this? They have to have something huge. Chronicle of Victory, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty big. And then you get a 6/4. And then you can double. Yeah. Their cards are pretty good. Okay, so I could chump block. They're going to attack with, yeah, like a zillion cards here. They have First Strike and Trample. Is there any way... I can't even chump block because they have Trample. This is probably game, but let's see. What can I do? Do I have any out? There's Pitiless Fists. Fighting Virulent Emissary into something, I guess. 2-for-1ing myself. Yeah, and I don't even have a way of destroying an artifact. And even if I did, I just have a Forest on top. First Strike. Yeah, I think they just got me. Too bad. Yeah. I don't know. How would I have won that game? I guess if I had stayed on... If I had mulliganed, then maybe I could have put pressure on early. But they had a 2-4. It feels like it didn't really come down to play decisions. I have those 3-mana spells in my sideboard that make it 2/2 elf or destroy a flyer or destroy an enchantment, but they don't destroy an artifact. It's just an enchantment. Yeah. Yeah, it feels like it didn't come down to play decisions. Chronicle of Victory is a tough one. All right, I'll keep this. I mean, this looks like a good hand, right? This looks like a good hand to me. Come on, I want to do better than 2/2. I really want to show that I've learned something about Pick-2 draft. Yeah, I want to go Encumbered Reejerey. I'll take the damage from Lissalina Informant because then I'm going to have 2 1/1 chump blockers. Or not chump blockers, like they trade up against the Informant. Well, they did not fix himself into whatever their other color is. Morkhan's Eyes is such a good card. That is just such a good card. I feel basically lost every time I play against that card, to be honest with you. Yeah, I'll go ahead and play this. It's just like, what do you even do? I kind of feel like I just want to put pressure on, actually. I'll trade. I kind of just feel like I want to put pressure on. Because what am I going to do? Not attack ever? Okay, they surveilled to the top, which means they found their other color. Morkhan's Eyes is just like, it's just a ticking time bomb where it kind of just says, you know, on turn 8 you lose or something. It feels like that. Like there's a turn where you're going to lose and you just have to figure things out before then. Moonglove Extractor, okay. Not scared of that. So I think I want to go... So 1-drops are mana neutral here, by which I mean I go Virulent Emissary, Gold Meadow Nomad, Sun-Dappled Celebrant. Just spit out my whole hand. And this is my gambit to just say, look, I'm racing your Morkhan's Eyes. This is the race against Morkhan's Eyes. Okay, a random Kithkin Advisor makes me feel better. Something that is not an elf. Because it does not add to their graveyard count, and it kind of suggests that they didn't quite get there on having infinite elves. Okay, my friends. Okay, my friends. Probably I just shoot this guy into that. Play my land. I will attack with everyone except... I don't even think I attack with Virulent Emissary. I don't really want to offer that particular trade. right? I like having the Death Toucher. I think that's good. Bonk, 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 bonk. And down comes Worry Farmer. And we can start doing card selection. All right. We're just trying to put the pressure on. That is all. See what they've got. Hopefully not gloomy guy. Even that one, the best elf card, the 3 and 2 black 4/4 that gives +X/+O to something and -O/-X to something, even that is not that great here because they couldn't kill Wary Farmer. Oh, they surveil to the top though. This card is just so good. It is just so good. Mist Meadow Council. So they're playing a lot of Mist Meadow Councils. Oh, heck yes. Thank you, Thoughtweft Imbuer, for showing your beautiful face here in our game of Magic. I'll go to attacks. I'll put the +1 on some random 1/1, and now I definitely do attack with everything. Hold on, what happened? Oh, attacks alone. Sorry. I haven't played much with this card, so I keep forgetting about that, but that's okay. 5, 6, 7, 8. This is still clearly the correct thing to do. But yeah, Thoughtweft Imbuer really helps. This is looking scary. Yeah, I think Virulent Emissary, I don't really need to hold it back anymore because Life doesn't matter, and the Death Touch is mainly relevant for chump blocking or if they have one really big creature that I need to like assert perfection a Death Toucher against. They milled into the bin. This looked kind of board wipey, like doing a bunch of chump blocks, but I think, yeah, exactly. It was a Morkant's Eyes idea. And then I think what I do is, so they have 4 2/2s. Yeah, so I think I'll Thoughtweft Imbue Sundappled Celebrant, I guess. Go in for a zillion so they have to chump block. Attack with a 10-11. I do wish it had trample. Yeah. So I have a lot of ways of pushing damage, right? Because they're only at 3 and I do get a creature every turn. I actually should be playing all of my lands, right? To get as close as possible to 10 mana. All right, so I'll make a Kithkin. So Morkant's Loyalist does let them do some annoying stuff, which is they can start looping things. I have a white 1-drop, I think. I need to be careful about how I tap here. Actually, I can just tap all of my green down because I'm holding a forest anyways. So play this guy. Okay, so I have, okay, a forest does not really help me. Play the forest, go to attackers. And then, yeah, I don't have any 1-drops left in my deck. So I'll attack with this guy. They do get to start looping things, so they can bring back Morkant's Eyes, I guess. And it's just going to be a long game. They don't want to. Isn't that what they can do, though? Can't they bring back an elf? They can bring back Morkant's Eyes with Morkant's Loyalists, which is thematic. Blightrod is perfectly fine. And then Morkant's Eyes would be 3. Okay. Wow. That's getting a little tedious. I still can't push lethal damage, so just going with the 11-12 Celebrant. This is funny. Well, I'm feeling pretty happy with my deck that it's holding up so well against a really good elf deck. I mean, this just looks like an... I mean, they do have these random Kithkin cards in here, so that's less good. But the Kithkins are still pretty good, right? And, you know, getting off Morkant's Eyes is no mean feat. Assert Perfection onto my Thoughtweft Imbuer. That's an issue. Yep, that's an issue. I guess they can attack with Safe Right Cavalry if they want to. Gangly Stompling is also kind of a random inclusion, but I do hear that this is a thing that happens in Quick Draft. Your decks actually end up being a little bit weaker. Because fewer cards are open, it's kind of the same as in best of, or in a 6-person pod. Okay, so I can flicker this, and then if I got an Assert Perfection, I could cast Assert Perfection. I kind of want to attack with this Sun-Dappled Celebrant. If I attack with the team, so they have no flash. 1, 2, 3, 4. If I attack with the team, I just win, don't I? 1, 2, 3, 4 blockers. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's nothing for 1 green here, right? Yeah. So, but oh no, sorry, that's next turn, not this turn. Right now, they could block 4 and only take 2 damage. So let's not mess around with that right now. I could attack with Sun-Dappled Celebrant. Is it worth it? They can double block. I don't really want to trade it for that. So let's pass here. Personify adds another creature to the board and lets me draw a card. And if they try to remove something, I get to blank their removal spell. So that's pretty awesome. That is pretty awesome. Okay. End of turn, I'll go ahead and flicker Mist Meadow Council. If they have a removal here, this is a blowout. So actually, let's not, because as of right now, okay, as of right now, I was pushing lethal. Gallant Foul Knight puts it over the edge, right? Now they need something really special. All right, in with the team. Morkant's Eyes is just so good. Like, look at the curve out that I got, and then Morkant's Eyes like super stabilized them for a long time, just in terms of chump blockers. It's just such a good card. The first time I looked at it, I did not think it's that good. Enchantments that don't affect the board and cost 6 mana to do something, and these things that like Servile once a turn that come down early. In recent sets, they have not been that good. Okay, we're already better than every Pick-2 draft I've ever done. This is my first 3-2 in a Pick-2 draft ever. So I did learn something. I feel like I really learned something. Now I have 1 loss, 3 wins. I made gems. I made a gem profit. Now we're going to charge in and hope to trophy. This will be my first trophy in a Pick-2 draft. Let's go. Not my best hand, but do I mulligan this? I don't know. It's just so good if I can stick the Wary Farmer and then play Mist Meadow Council. I don't even have that many 2-drops, so I don't think I mulligan. I think it's just a high enough chance that I send it back and just get a worse hand. Oh, Wonderwine Trapper. Yeah. Looks like I'm just going to get beaten down here. Kinscare Sentry. This card is absolutely nutty, and I have nothing to play. Oh, I guess I should have mulliganed. They're going to attack with 2, put a 2/2 into play, a 2-mana creature into play attacking, and they can play a 3-drop. I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. They put a Deep Channel Duelist into play and then a Deepway Navigator giving everything +1. And I literally have not played a creature yet. Well, this is a nightmare scenario. Keeping the hand that I kept on the draw. Drawing no body that comes down before turn 2. And then now I get my first creature down. Yeah, we'll see. And then they can just tap it down. Yep. I mean, Wonderwine Trapper, Kinscare Sentry, putting in a Deep Channel Duelist, and then casting a Deepway Navigator. This has got to be one of the best possible curve outs. No shade to the opponent whatsoever into a Gravelgill Scoundrel. If you sat down on paper and you said, I want to design the best curve out that you could possibly have in this format, that has got to be up there, right? Literally, if you could choose any card and just play them 1 in a row, that has got to be. I wonder if that's close to the most damage that you can do by turn 4. Props to the opponent. Okay, so I'm not a master of Pick-2 draft yet. I only got 3 wins, so I started out getting 2 wins. We'll forget about anything that happened after that. Now I got 3 wins, so we're on a growth trajectory. That means the next time that you see me Pick-2 drafting, I'm clearly going to trophy, right? But hey, we got a gem profit. We're learning about Pick-2 draft. We picked our rating up a tiny little bit, and I'll do 1 more of these, and then I'll play some games in February, and we'll have a totally blank slate. Grind to Mythic, using Premier Draft, and we're going to have a lot of fun and learn a lot. Until then, my friends, have tons of fun playing Magic, and don't be afraid to splash.